The nature of impermanence is everywhere. Each moment is a death and a rebirth. Each breath is a death and a rebirth until no more rebirth. Each thought arises as if by itself and dissolves back into the ocean of eternity. Every emotion comes and goes. All things are subject to time. And so it is. Each of us arises as if from eternity and dissolves back into eternity. Planets come, have their millions, billions of years and dissolve. The night sky is filled with shooting stars. Stars implode and give rise to new stars. Even the sun, that seems so permanent, is, to God, temporary. All things of form arise and fall. There is nothing that can be done about such a thing. When we know this and see this and feel this in the depth of our being, we know that struggling against the inevitability of impermanence is futile and only creates suffering. And the journey is to see that suffering and the futility of that suffering and to let it go and to deal with the consequences of letting it go. Maybe the journey that we're on, maybe the journey that calls us deeper and deeper, for there is a consequence of letting go of the suffering, of holding on to that which is inevitable. Impermanence itself, consequence of realizing and letting go, of surrendering that holding on, strikes us often in the belly, in the soul, in the heart, in the gut. For likely we have been holding on all our lives in some hidden way or overt way, trying to pretend almost that something must be permanent. But it's not. All things are subject to impermanence, and it's such a humbling grace in realizing it, that even as I arose and in my early years thought I would be here forever, or just the simple fact of wanting to avoid inevitability, avoid the inevitable dissolution of this form, of this body, of this mind, of these thoughts, of this relationship, of this whole life, this whole experience. I thought it would. I hoped it would. I feared it wouldn't last. And so now, as maturity and some inner wisdom and grace has arisen, So there's a falling into the grace of the equanimity of surrender, to surrender the one who held on, who holds on, and fall into the awareness of what sees all this, what sees all of us, what sees the rising and the falling, and to simply rest there, again and again. Awareness is everything.